Is this the Scream King himself, Mr. Joe Lawson?
It sure is.
Ada, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. And who's this?
This is Bay.
Bay? Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if that was your name or what to call you. So, okay, nice to meet you, Bay.
You too, man. So, as I'm going through stuff and all, and I see, Scream King's first show, you end up opening for Metal Legends Anvil. I mean, that's got to be a nice, pleasant way to break the band in, huh?
Yeah. That was a good launch for us. That's for sure. Mm-hmm.
Now, had you had been around in the scene for a while, I guess, to get that spot where people knew you and they had faith in you and your music, or?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the area here where I live, and I've played all over, but primarily this area. So, yeah, I knew the promoter, and we'd never played the club, but always wanted to, and it was a good opportunity for us, and we said, yeah, absolutely, we'd love to. So we were stoked to get it, and it was a good show.
Nice. Now, how long had you guys been together, putting things together before that first show?
Together as a band, actually only a couple of months. So it was we were pretty green. We were pretty fresh. Yep.
Wow. Now, had you known the guys from previous bands, or just around the scene, or?
Well, yeah, I knew the guys that participated in that lineup for quite a while, and had worked with a few of them in previous bands. So, yeah, and then from that point on, we moved on with drummer and one guitar player, Rafael and Alex Hernandez. We continued on with what is now known as Screamking.
Nice. So I guess there has been some member changes over the years then, is what you're saying?
Oh yeah. There's, we have the same problems that Megadeth has and that the heavy hitters get too. It's just a little more difficult for us because we can't attach the nice paychecks that those guys can. And really what you get is you get two different kinds of musicians. So I categorize them. Maybe this is wrong of me to do, but I categorize them as resume builders or legacy builders. You're one or the other. You're either a hired gun or you're in it to win it, and you're a team member and you want to put the blood, sweat, and tears in and build something significant. One or the other. So.
Now, how frustrating is it when you get one of them and you're hoping it's not that hired gun where they're in it to win it, but then you realize as time passes that you realize they're just a resume builder?
Over recent years, it's gotten worse, I think. Yeah, it seems like musicians have such a short attention span, and that they're gung ho. Okay, you got this big gig coming up with whoever it is, Metal Church, Anvil, whoever, and they're all guns blazing. And then afterwards, if there isn't something immediately afterwards to keep their interest, they're looking for something else. They're on to the next project. They never stick anything out long enough to build something significant, And the sad and unfortunate thing is bands like Kiss, Megadeth, Metallica, all those big names you had never, ever heard of if somebody didn't persevere and stick it out. And that's reality. Right.
Yeah. It's I mean, the way you're kind of explaining it, too, I've almost, I've been doing this show, it's going on 5 years now, and usually musicians will always say how the fans will have that short attention span, but I think it really makes a lot of sense what you're saying, where now the musicians creating the music have just as short an attention span because you're seeing, like you're saying, that that trickle down effect where you're seeing a band like a Megadeth or whoever, these big name bands are replacing members left and right. So of course you're going to see it trickle down the line of the music industry. And yeah, I guess it is both sides of the fence. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, that and another thing is that's, whether the fans realize it or not, there's something called information overload, and it's with music and media to an extreme point nowadays. And a lot of things have lost the magic. It's lost the mystique. So for the fan, yeah, it's nothing new. It's like, okay, yeah, that's cool, yeah, whatever, and they're not intentionally doing it. It's just so many things are shoved down their throat that, to give you an example, like when you watch the news, I don't know how old you are, but back in the 70s and even the 80s, you watch the news, it was a guy sitting there with his agenda, and he told you the news, and that was the news. Now you turn the news on, there's something scrolling down at the bottom, there's something in the left-hand corner, there's something in the right-hand corner, they're talking about 2 or 3 different things at one time, talking to 4 different people at a time. There's so much going on that is shoved down your throat. You're not digesting any of it. Well, music's the same way. If you don't give people time to get adapted to it and to digest it, they're not going to be fans.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same. That's something that I don't think a lot of bands maybe even really notice that or realize that, but it's a reality we face, and yeah, it definitely makes it more of a challenge for sure, trying to win people over.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like one of my biggest complaints too, and a lot of the bands I talk to kind of agree, where you're seeing now where a lot of bands are putting out a new release, and they'll put that first single out like a couple months before the actual release. Well, now they don't even give it time to breathe, where they're releasing another single the next week, and each week they're releasing a song. By the time the album comes out, there's 5 songs already out there being played, and when the album does come out, it's like, all right, who cares now?
Right, and something with that I always thought was a flaw in their strategy was this, and maybe and I know it works, and I know that the people that are in the professional end of the music industry have insight to this and maybe understanding that I don't have either, but to me it seems ass backwards. What I mean by that is, why should a band pick what the single is, or why should a label pick what the single is? Why don't you let the album come out? Why don't you let some songs out or some sound bites and get some feedback from what people like and what they're biting on, and then make that your single? That's what we did.
Yeah.
With the Death Wish video. That's we've seen that people were making comments about it. They liked it. They were very interactive at our shows with that song. So it just made sense. Okay, this is something that we wanted to try and capitalize on and make a video and kind of push this. And to me, that just makes sense. Give people what they want, man. That's all. And instead of cramming it down their throat and hoping they like it.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree. Which, now your first album was out in 2013, Equilibrium. So now it's 2017, and the new album is just coming out. Is it just coming out now, or it's been out? Tyranny of the Sea.
March 1st it came out. It was our official release date for that, and I'm real proud of it. It's 12 really solid tracks, and Raphael did a great job. The guys did a good job on it, and we're super stoked to have it out, and we're promoting it and working on getting a new lineup together, and got some shows coming up in July and August, and looking to get some more things going on throughout the rest of the year.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. So, any chances of hitting the East Coast at all, or?
Pardon, any what?
Any chances of coming out to the East Coast at all?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I've talked to a couple of people about setting some stuff up, and that might happen later this fall or even towards the winter.
Oh, nice.
We have some friends out there that are kind of involved in the music scene out there in New York and Maryland and a few places. So we may end up setting up a couple of shows out there and making a journey out there. It's a little different situation for us. All of us have good jobs and families. We're older. We're not out there running around eating bologna sandwiches in the back of a van and hoping for the best. So we've already all done that. So we take what we do seriously, and we want to be professional on every level as much as we can, but within reason. So for us, it's easier to make trips to Chicago, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, and just kind of stay to this region show-wise. Another thing we'd really like to do is eventually someday play a festival overseas over in Europe.
Right.
We'd love to do that, and hopefully, putting this record out is giving us one step closer to something solid like that. The more we make a name, the more noise we make, maybe we're making a bigger splash in the pond, hopefully.
Nice. Now, you getting any feedback from across the pond at all, or?
Oh, absolutely. We've sold a bunch of records all over the place. Japan, Argentina, Europe, all over the place. So it's been real good and real supportive. We've got a few small record store owners and small record labels that buy 20, 30 CDs at a time from us, and it's been all positive feedback so far. And I'm surprised and I'm stoked. The reason why I'm surprised by that is usually there's always a negative critic somewhere in the bunch. And there's always somebody that's going to say something negative about it. I'm still waiting. I know it's going to come, but so far it's been just kind of shockingly all super positive that people really like it. So it's a good feeling.
Now it's got to be like still kind of mind blowing at times though. Like what you're saying, like you get 20, 30 orders from a company that will carry the CD or album, and it's still, I would be blown away. Like if I wake up and see an order, like say from Japan or Germany or somewhere like that, and just be like, wow, the music actually hit that far away. That's got to be wild.
Oh, it is. To us, it's worth. It makes everything, all the hassle, all the frustration, all the stress, all the building up to a finished product worth it. It makes everything worth it to us. And again, it's not the financial issue, definitely. It's not that. It's the satisfaction of knowing that people like it, and people accept it, people are into it, and there's all these positive comments and feedback, and that makes everything worth it to us. As musicians, that's like winning the lottery.
Awesome. Cool. Well, if you guys ever do make it over to the East Coast and looking to book some shows, hit me up and maybe I can get you out here to Philly, in between New York and Maryland.
Absolutely. That would be wonderful. We'd love to come out there, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what songs should I play for everybody?
You know what? I'm going to leave that up to you because you know your listeners better than I do, and you know what's going to resonate with them better than I do. So pick what you think works, and we appreciate the support immensely.
Cool. And let's get all the plugs out there. Where can everybody find Screamking, get the new album, get the old album, and just like yous, love yous, support yous, and follow yous?
I'll backtrack a little bit. The first record is being reissued through Alone Records, and that comes out available June 9th. You can just look them up, Alone Records. They're out of Greece. It's a mail order. And they have 100 Screamking patches, for all of you that collect battle vests. That'll be released with the reissue. And the new record you can get at our website at www.screamkingofficial.com. Just click on Order Now, and it'll take you right to it. It's all PayPal, so it's all secure and safe. And we have CDs, T-shirts, and other merchandise there available. And you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ScreamKingMetal. Awesome.
Joe, thanks so much. Keep being the Scream King. And, look forward to hearing some loud, heavy music.
Awesome. Thanks for the support, babe. Have a great day, brother.
Absolutely. Take care, my friend.
Bye-bye.